In the poem, Dulce et Decorum Est, the scene opens on a group of weary soldiers who are trudging back from the front lines. The soldiers look exhausted, with faces lined by dirt and fatigue. Their heavy boots make a sound against the muddy ground, which is slick and difficult to walk through. The atmosphere is grim, filled with the stench of sweat and fear. This scene shows the harsh realities of war, contrasting the romanticized idea of heroism often portrayed in stories. As the soldiers march, they struggle to keep moving forward. Some of them limp or drag their feet, showing the toll that battle has taken on their bodies. Their uniforms are tattered and stained, suggesting they have been in a long fight. The landscape around them is bleak, with barren fields and a sky filled with dark clouds. This setting emphasizes their weariness and the grim nature of their task. It serves as a reminder that war is not glorious. It is a fight against fatigue and despair. Suddenly, an alarm bell rings out, signaling a gas attack. The soldiers spring into action, scrambling to put on their gas masks. The chaos of the moment is palpable. The sound of gas canisters hitting the ground is jarring, and the fear of choking on the poisonous air hangs in the air. The urgency of the scene paints a clear picture of the dangers that soldiers face. The panic is not just about survival. It is about the instinct to protect oneself in a moment of crisis. One soldier struggles to put on his mask in time. The urgency of the situation is evident as he coughs and gasps for air. His desperation becomes a focal point of the scene. This moment highlights the terrifying reality of gas warfare. It is a brutal reminder that war does not just bring physical wounds. It also inflicts psychological trauma. The fear in this soldier's eyes shows the vulnerability that lies beneath the bravado often associated with soldiers. As the gas begins to spread, the scene shifts to the horrors that unfold. The soldier falls to the ground, writhing in agony as the gas takes hold. His body convulses, and the image is haunting. The vivid descriptions of his suffering convey the pain and horror of dying in such a cruel manner. The landscape around him seems to fade away, becoming secondary to the tragedy of his struggle. The brutality of this moment serves as a stark contrast to any romantic notions of dying for one's country. In the next scene, the poem emphasizes the aftermath of this suffering. The dead and dying soldiers lie scattered on the battlefield. The landscape is now a graveyard, with the remnants of life replaced by silence and stillness. The bodies, once full of hope and strength, now lie lifeless. This imagery underscores the grim reality of war. It illustrates the cost of conflict in human lives, driving home the message that war is not glorious. It is a devastating experience. The poem continues by reflecting on the idea of honor and glory in war. The speaker challenges the notion that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. This moment of reflection invites the reader to reconsider the values often associated with military service. The speaker's tone is one of disillusionment, revealing that the true nature of war is not one of glory, but of suffering and death. This questioning of traditional beliefs creates a powerful impact on the reader. The final lines of the poem drive home the message that the idea of dulce decorum est is a lie. The phrase, which translates to it, is sweet and proper, is turned on its head. Instead of celebrating the bravery of soldiers, the poem reveals the harsh truth that many soldiers faced. This conclusion is jarring and confrontational, challenging the reader to confront the reality of war. It emphasizes that the ideals of honor and glory are often overshadowed by the pain and loss experienced by those who serve. Throughout the poem, the imagery is vivid and striking. The scenes painted are meant to provoke strong emotional responses. Each moment described serves to build a narrative that counters the glorification of war. The detailed depictions of the soldiers' experiences create a sense of empathy for their plight. This emotional connection is crucial in understanding the poem's message about the true nature of warfare. In summary, Dulce et Decorum Est serves as a powerful critique of the romanticized view of war. The poem begins with weary soldiers trudging back from battle, only to be caught in a gas attack that reveals the horrors of their experience. Through vivid imagery and emotional depth, The poem dismantles the notion that it is honorable to die for one's country. Instead, it presents a stark reality of suffering and loss. This reflection leaves the reader with a haunting understanding of the true cost of war. The scenes described throughout the poem invite us to reconsider the values we associate with military service, encouraging a more nuanced view of the experiences of soldiers.